They're independent, ambitious, and utterly captivating. But when it comes to love, are Sigma females just too much? Or are they simply just fine without any man? We're diving deep into why these powerful women might struggle with the give and take of a committed relationship, and whether their strength actually becomes a weakness in romance. Get ready to rethink everything you knew about strong women and their place in relationships. Forget what you've heard about alphas and betas. Sigma females are rewriting the entire relationship rulebook. But here's the million-dollar question. Can they actually have a lasting relationship? Stick around, because what you're about to hear will challenge the very things you thought you knew about these extraordinary women. Society loves to put relationships on a pedestal. We all get told that we need that one special person to complete us. But for Sigma females, it's a different story. Relationships, they're just not always what they're cracked up to be. The idea of being with someone constantly feels a bit off. There's this belief that a Sigma should settle down, but honestly, they're not the ones to follow the traditional relationship script. Why? Because they're too busy building their empire, chasing goals, and living life their way. Now it's time for some real talk. Why Sigma females rarely have boyfriends. Reason number 1. Sigma females are untouchable. Sigma females are not the type to rely on anyone to complete them. They are self-sufficient, whole, and have mastered the art of being content on their own. The idea of waiting for someone else to fix them, validate their worth, or fill a void, it's foreign to them. They are unapologetically independent, and their sense of self is unshakable. There's a misconception that everyone needs someone else to feel fulfilled, but Sigma females defy that. They've built their own empire, designed their own path, and achieved their own success. They've spent years cultivating their identity, their dreams, and their passions without depending on others to define them. The truth is, most people, no matter how well-intentioned, can't keep up with them. They're too intense, too focused, and too driven for many to match. Sigma females know who they are, and they don't need anyone to complete their picture. Relationships, in their eyes, are just a part of life, not a necessity. They don't define who they are or add meaning to their existence. The idea of needing someone else to fill the gaps in their life is, frankly, beneath them. They don't feel empty or incomplete without a partner. It's not that they dislike relationships, it's just that they don't need them. It's all about self-reliance for them. They believe that true fulfillment comes from within, and if someone else happens to come along and add value to their life, that's a bonus, but it's never the goal. It's this level of self-awareness and confidence that sets Sigma females apart. They aren't out here searching for someone to complete them because they are already whole. It's an incredibly empowering mindset, and one that many people struggle to understand. For Sigma females, relationships are not the priority. Their goals, their career, their passions, they are the ones that come first. And anyone who steps into their world has to understand that. They're not here to be someone's other half or to settle into a traditional mold. They are fully themselves as they are, and anyone who wants to be with them needs to understand that their independence is non-negotiable. If you've ever been in a relationship where you felt like you needed the other person to feel complete, Sigma females don't know that feeling. Their sense of fulfillment doesn't come from a partner's validation. Their worth is not determined by anyone else's opinion of them. Their value is intrinsic, and that's why they are untouchable. So when society pressures them to fit into a traditional relationship box, they push back. They create their own standards. For Sigma females, a relationship is just one possible avenue to explore. It's not the be-all and end-all of their existence. If someone can meet them on their level, sharing their goals, their passion, and their intensity, then they'll entertain the idea. But if not, they'd rather be alone than settle for less than they deserve. They've mastered the art of independence, and for them, that's enough. So, while many chase after love and companionship, Sigma females are content being exactly who they are. They know their worth, and they don't need a relationship to prove it. Quick pause. If you relate to this, give us a like and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the Sigma mindset. Reason number 2. They're allergic to weakness. Sigma females don't have time for weakness, and by weakness, they mean anything that pulls them down, especially emotional dependency. They've spent their entire lives building strength in every way imaginable, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Every obstacle they've faced has only served to reinforce their resilience. They don't need someone to fix them or constantly reassure them. They've already done the hard work of healing, growing, and becoming strong, and they expect the same from anyone who steps into their world. Emotional dependency, in their eyes, is a weakness. It's not that Sigma females don't care about others, it's just that they value their independence and emotional stability too much to tolerate anyone who can't offer the same. They know how hard it is to stay strong when life throws curveballs, so they expect their partners to be able to do the same. A relationship with a Sigma female should feel like a partnership between two equals, not one where one person is constantly looking for emotional support or validation from the other. Relationships are meant to enhance their lives, not become a source of emotional chaos. For them, love isn't about constantly managing someone else's feelings or picking up the pieces when their partner is falling apart. They need someone who can stand tall right beside them, someone who isn't afraid of going through hard times, but who doesn't crumble under pressure. Emotional roller coasters. Not for a Sigma female. She's worked too hard to get where she is, to get swept away by someone else's emotional instability. She doesn't want to play the role of a caretaker or therapist. If you can't stand on your own 2 feet, emotionally and mentally, then you won't be able to stand beside her. And if you need constant reassurance, attention, or validation, you'll quickly find that Sigma females aren't interested. It's not about being cold. It's about self-respect and the desire for a balanced, healthy relationship. They've learned to trust themselves first and foremost, and they need a partner who does the same. Someone who's strong enough to support themselves. Someone who can handle their own emotions without relying on their partner to prop them up. If you can't match their energy and strength, you're simply not the right fit. Sigma females don't settle for relationships that drag them down. They've worked too hard on themselves to lower their standards or get involved in toxic dynamics. So, if you can't stand up tall, if you can't meet them where they are, they're out. It's that simple. They won't entertain the idea of being with someone who needs saving or someone who isn't fully capable of standing on their own. They need someone who matches their strength, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Anything less isn't worth their time or energy. Reason number 3. They fear losing their edge. Sigma females don't just thrive on independence, they thrive on maintaining their edge, that sharp focus and drive that makes them unstoppable. They are constantly evolving, adapting and growing, and they know that any distraction could jeopardize everything they've worked for. In their minds, love is not just a romantic idea, it's a potential risk. Relationships, while often seen as fulfilling, come with emotional baggage, demands, and compromises that can take away from their personal goals. For Sigma females, this isn't something they're willing to gamble. They've invested so much time and energy into becoming their best selves that the idea of losing their edge for the sake of a relationship is something they can't afford. It's not about being cold or heartless, it's about survival. The moment they feel a relationship is starting to take more than it's giving, they start pulling away. They've seen how relationships can drain people's energy and ambitions, how they can derail progress, and how they can turn people into shadows of their former selves. And they simply aren't willing to let that happen to them. Staying sharp, staying hungry, and staying focused is their priority. Love, while beautiful, can sometimes cloud their vision, causing them to lose sight of their path. And that's terrifying. The emotional ups and downs of a relationship could risk shaking the balance they've worked so hard to achieve. They know that maintaining control over their life is paramount, and they won't let anyone or anything pull them off course. They're aware that relationships take time and energy, 2 things that, at times, they can't afford to give away. Their purpose comes first. And this is why Sigma females often stay away from relationships. They simply don't have time for distractions that don't serve their mission. This isn't about being anti-love or anti-partnership. It's about recognizing that love should enhance their life, not derail it. They don't want a partner who demands constant attention or requires them to slow down or compromise their goals. They need someone who will walk beside them, not someone who will pull them into an emotional roller coaster. Sigma females understand the power of maintaining focus. They have a clear vision of where they're headed and know that love can sometimes blur the lines. It's not that they don't believe in love, it's just that they know how quickly it can turn from a beautiful thing into an anchor that holds them back. If they're going to be in a relationship, it has to be one that accelerates their progress, not hinders it. A partner must be someone who pushes them, challenges them, and respects their space and ambitions. If they can't find that, they'd rather remain solo. The truth is, Sigma females fear losing their edge more than they fear being alone. They'd rather be alone, independent, and on top of their game than compromise their happiness and success for the sake of love. If you're feeling this, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Sigma energy should be celebrated. Reason number 4. They don't do half relationships. Sigma females have one rule when it comes to relationships. They don't do half relationships. They are whole individuals, complete on their own, and they're not interested in anything that doesn't meet that same level of integrity. They've spent years building themselves up to be strong, independent, and self-sufficient. So when it comes to love, they expect the same level of commitment, effort, and focus. For Sigma females, anything less than full, wholehearted engagement isn't worth their time. Relationships aren't meant to be a balancing act of uncertainty and compromise, especially when one person is only halfway involved. Sigma females are all in, or they're all out. They don't entertain situations where they feel like they're giving more than they're receiving. They won't settle for a partner who's unsure or hesitant, someone who isn't emotionally available, or someone who's still figuring things out. They need someone who is fully present and aligned with their values. They don't waste time on relationships that are uncertain or where there's a lack of clarity. This doesn't mean they are rigid or inflexible. It means they value themselves and their time too much to settle for a relationship that doesn't add value. They know their worth, and they won't settle for less. It's a simple rule that saves them from unnecessary drama, emotional exhaustion, and frustration. If someone isn't offering their full effort, if they're not showing up with the same level of commitment and enthusiasm, Sigma females are out. They've learned the hard way that half relationships often lead to confusion, misunderstandings, and feelings of being undervalued. It's not a game they want to play. When you're a Sigma female, you know exactly what you bring to the table, and you expect the same from anyone who enters your life. There's no room for doubt or indecision. If a person can't match the intensity and clarity of what the Sigma female brings to the table, then it's simply not going to work. The reality is, Sigma females aren't here for anything that's half-hearted, half-committed, or half-engaged. They want someone who's going to show up with the same energy, passion, and dedication that they bring to every aspect of their life. They don't have the time or patience to wait around for someone to catch up or figure it out. Their life is too precious, their goals too important, and their energy too valuable. They don't do half. They do whole, committed, and all-in relationships. If you're not ready for that, you won't be able to keep up with a Sigma female. They know that life is too short for anything less. So if a relationship isn't offering them the same level of commitment, respect, and effort, they'll walk away. It's as simple as that. They are unapologetically whole, and they expect the same from anyone they choose to spend their time with. Reason number 5. Sigma females don't wait around for anyone. Sigma females don't waste time waiting for anyone to make up their mind. Time is their most precious resource, and they know how valuable it is. For Sigma females, life moves at a fast pace, and there's no room to slow down waiting for someone else to catch up. When a Sigma female sets her sights on something, she moves toward it with laser focus. She's driven, and she doesn't have time to sit around wondering when or if someone else will be ready to join her. If you're not moving at the same speed as a Sigma female, she won't wait for you. She's not about to hold herself back because someone else can't decide what they want, or because someone is too afraid to take the next step. She's going to keep progressing, moving forward and making things happen, whether someone else is on board or not. Waiting around for someone to decide if they're ready for a relationship or waiting for them to show up emotionally just isn't part of the equation for a Sigma female. She values her time and energy too much to let them be consumed by uncertainty or indecision. If you want to be in her life, you need to show up. You need to be clear about what you want and be willing to move at her pace. Sigma females don't have time for ambiguity or second guessing. They need someone who can keep up with them, someone who knows what they want, takes action, and doesn't waste time. For Sigma females, relationships are about mutual growth and shared energy, not dragging someone along or waiting for them to figure things out. If someone isn't ready to match her energy, she'll move on without hesitation. There's no hesitation, no regrets. Sigma females don't stick around for situations that don't align with their goals or values. A Sigma female is too busy creating her own path to let anyone else's indecision hold her back. She's focused on her career, her passions, and her personal growth, and she won't let anyone derail that. She doesn't need a partner to feel complete. She's already complete. If a partner isn't on the same level, then they're not part of the plan. Sigma females have learned that the right person will show up at the right time, but they won't wait for them to show up. Life moves too fast to wait around, and Sigma females have no interest in wasting time on someone who isn't ready to move forward. Instead of waiting, a Sigma female will fill her time with things that bring her joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Whether that's focusing on her career, spending time with friends, or nurturing her own well-being, she knows how to fill her life with meaningful activities that help her grow. So, when a Sigma female moves on, it's not with bitterness or frustration, it's with the confidence of knowing that her time is valuable, and she won't waste it on anything that doesn't align with her vision for the future. If you're not ready for the ride, she'll keep moving on her own. Before we move on, if you're a Sigma female who thrives without a boyfriend, drop a comment and let's chat about it. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content on what it means to be a Sigma. Reason number 6. Sigma females see love as an option, not a necessity. For a Sigma female, love is not the end-all and be-all of her existence. It's not something she's out searching for, but rather something that might come her way if it adds value to her life. Love is optional for Sigma females. They are not defined by their relationship status, nor do they need a romantic partner to feel complete. A Sigma female is already complete on her own. She has spent her life building her identity, pursuing her goals, and creating her own sense of fulfillment. When it comes to love, she's clear about one thing: she doesn't need it to thrive. The idea that love should be the center of everything, that being in a relationship is the ultimate goal, is foreign to a Sigma female. She has a rich life filled with personal growth, career achievements, and the pursuit of her passions. Love, while beautiful, doesn't overshadow those things. It's simply a bonus if it aligns with her life's journey. A Sigma female doesn't see love as the one thing that will complete her. She's already whole. For her, being in a relationship is not a requirement for happiness or success. It's not something that she needs to feel validated, fulfilled, or at peace with herself. A relationship might be part of her life if it adds value, but she's not actively seeking one out to fill any void. In fact, Sigma females know that relationships can be distracting and even draining if the other person isn't on the same level. They understand that love requires emotional investment, time, and energy, things that are precious to them and not to be spent on anything that doesn't fully align with their values and life goals. For a Sigma female, a relationship is only worth pursuing if it's as mutually beneficial, supportive, and enriching as everything else she's built in her life. If a relationship doesn't bring her that same level of fulfillment and growth, it's not worth her time. She's not going to settle for anything less than a relationship that enhances who she is as a person and aligns with her ambitions. While many people chase love because they feel they need it, Sigma females have learned to be content on their own. They've cultivated a life full of purpose, accomplishment, and self-worth. They don't look for love as a way to fill themselves. Instead, they allow love to come into their lives naturally if it fits into their vision of the future. Sigma females don't let society's expectations of love and romance dictate their choices. They've found power in being independent, and they know that true happiness doesn't depend on another person. Love is an option, but it's never a necessity for them to feel complete. They are perfectly capable of living their best life without a romantic partner, and they're more than happy to do so until someone truly worthy comes along. But until then, they're not waiting around. They're living life on their own terms. Reason number 7. Sigma females believe in partnerships, not dependencies. Sigma females don't want someone who will depend on them emotionally or otherwise. They believe in true partnerships, where two people come together as equals, both offering their strengths to build something greater. Sigma females don't see relationships as a place where they have to carry the weight of someone else's problems, fears, or insecurities. If a partner can't stand on their own, both emotionally and mentally, a Sigma female will not hesitate to walk away. She's not here to be anyone's emotional crutch or savior. Relationships for a Sigma female are about mutual respect, understanding, and growth. She needs someone who can meet her halfway, who can keep up with her pace and energy, and who won't drag her down with unnecessary baggage. The last thing a Sigma female wants is someone who can't take care of themselves and expects her to do the emotional heavy lifting. She has no interest in carrying the burden of someone else's unhappiness or unresolved issues. Sigma females have already spent enough time working on themselves, and they need someone who's done the same. When it comes to relationships, Sigma females expect a balanced partnership. That means both partners need to contribute equally to the emotional, mental, and physical aspects of the relationship. She's not about to sacrifice her independence, stability, or well-being just to make someone else feel comfortable. If a partner can't match her level of emotional maturity, self-awareness, and growth, then there's no place for them in her life. Sigma females value their emotional independence too much to get involved in a relationship that requires them to sacrifice their peace of mind. If a partner brings constant drama, emotional dependency, or instability into the relationship, a Sigma female will see that as a deal breaker. She is not interested in creating emotional chaos. She has her own goals, her own ambitions, and she won't let someone else's emotional mess interfere with that. For Sigma females, the ideal relationship is one where both individuals elevate each other. It's a partnership where each person brings their own strengths, challenges, and growth to the table, and neither person is left to shoulder the burden of the other. Sigma females need someone who understands the importance of personal space, emotional maturity, and independence. They need someone who knows how to handle their own emotions and who doesn't expect the Sigma female to be their emotional anchor. The right person for a Sigma female is someone who can stand on their own and doesn't need constant validation or support. If a Sigma female is going to invest in a relationship, it's because she sees the potential for growth, equality, and shared experiences. She doesn't need someone who depends on her, emotionally or otherwise. She needs a partner who is strong enough to stand beside her, not someone who needs to be carried. If someone can't offer that balance and independence, Sigma females will keep walking. They know their worth, and they're not about to settle for less. Reason number 8. Sigma females know their worth and don't settle for less. Sigma females are fully aware of their worth. They've spent years building themselves up, honing their skills, and becoming the best version of themselves. They know the value they bring to the table, whether it's in their personal lives, careers, or relationships. Because of this, Sigma females do not settle for anything less than what they deserve. In a world where many people try to force relationships or force connections out of convenience, a Sigma female has no interest in wasting her time. She will never lower her standards or compromise on her values just to be in a relationship. Sigma females don't fall for the pressure to settle down or find someone to fill a void. They have no voids to fill. They're already complete. This self-assurance is what makes them so confident in their decisions. A Sigma female doesn't need a partner to complete her, so she won't tolerate anyone who doesn't meet her standards. Relationships are about quality, not quantity, and she won't let anyone convince her that being with someone just for the sake of being with someone is a good idea. Sigma females understand that relationships should be about growth, trust, and mutual respect. They don't want someone who brings drama, insecurity, or a lack of ambition into their life. They need someone who can keep up with them, someone who challenges them, supports their goals, and complements their personality. If a partner doesn't meet these criteria, Sigma females will let them go without hesitation. She doesn't waste time on people who aren't ready for what she's offering. Sigma females are not interested in mediocre relationships. They have high standards, and they're not afraid to uphold them. They believe in investing time and energy only in relationships that are fulfilling and healthy. For Sigma females, being in a relationship isn't about just being in one. It's about finding someone who adds value to their life. If a partner doesn't add that value, then there's no reason for a Sigma female to stay. In fact, she'll rather be alone than settle for anything less than extraordinary. Her standards are a reflection of how much she respects herself, her time, and her journey. Sigma females know that they have worked hard to get where they are, and they are not about to compromise that for the wrong person. This isn't about being arrogant. It's about having enough self-love and self-respect to say no when the situation doesn't align with her values. Sigma females are not afraid of being alone because they know that loneliness is not the same as being alone. She thrives on her own, and the right partner will come when the time is right. Until then, Sigma females are perfectly content living their life the way they want to, on their own terms. If someone wants to be part of that life, they better be ready to meet her high standards. If not, then she'll keep moving forward, alone, but never lacking in love, purpose, or ambition. Now let's address the big question: do Sigma females even want a boyfriend? Let's face it, this question gets asked a lot because society often pushes the idea that every woman needs to be in a relationship to feel validated, successful, or fulfilled. But the truth is, most Sigma females are so busy focusing on what they love, whether it's their work, their passions, or their personal growth, that they simply don't have room for anyone who isn't on the same level. They are driven by their goals, and when you're out there grinding and building your empire, there's very little time left to invest in someone who can't keep up with that pace. The idea of needing someone else to feel complete can actually feel a little foreign to them. For Sigma females, independence is everything. They've worked hard to get to where they are, and they've built a life that is fulfilling on its own. So, a partner doesn't complete them. They're already complete. They aren't looking for someone to fix them or fill a void. They thrive on their own, not because they're incapable of love, but because they've learned to love themselves, their ambitions, and their journey. This doesn't mean Sigma females are against relationships. Far from it. It means that they don't need one to feel validated or fulfilled. They've found a deep sense of purpose in their work, their growth, and their own company. And that is something very powerful. Relationships can be wonderful, but they can also be a lot of work, a lot of emotional energy, and sometimes distractions. A Sigma female's time is precious, and it's not to be spent on someone who isn't ready to meet her energy and ambition. It's not about being lonely or incapable of loving someone. It's about knowing what they want and making sure it aligns with their vision. And when it doesn't, they walk away, no questions asked. So, if you're a Sigma female who thrives without a boyfriend, drop a comment and let's chat about it. Maybe you've felt the pressure to be in a relationship or faced the stigma of being alone in a world that expects partnerships to be the ultimate goal. But for Sigma females, the ultimate goal is to continue growing, building, and being the best version of themselves. Being in a relationship is an option, not a requirement. They know what they deserve, And if a relationship isn't adding value to their life or aligning with their mission, then it has no place in their world. Sigma females are fiercely selective about who they allow into their lives. A partner has to be someone who not only matches their ambition, but also supports their growth and respects their independence. They're not looking for someone to save them or someone who needs constant reassurance. They want a partner who is whole on their own, just as they are. When you're out there chasing your dreams and living life on your own terms, why would you settle for anything less than extraordinary? If a relationship is to come into the picture, it has to be something that enhances their life, not detracts from it. So, after all of that, what's the truth about Sigma females and relationships? It's clear. Sigma females are not anti-relationships. They're just pro their own lives. They don't settle because they know what they deserve. Let's be real here. When you're out there building your empire, chasing your dreams, and being your authentic self, why would you compromise for anything less than extraordinary? If a partner can't meet you on your level and match your energy, why waste your time? For Sigma females, settling down is not the goal. Thriving on their own terms is. This isn't about saying no to love. It's about saying yes to the right kind of love. They're waiting for the kind of relationship that complements their life, not one that causes them to compromise their happiness, goals, or well-being. They've learned that they can thrive without a boyfriend, and they've built lives that are already fulfilling. They're not defined by their relationship status. Sigma females are defined by their independence, their strength, and their pursuit of greatness. That's where their true fulfillment lies. So, what do you think? Do Sigma females need a boyfriend to be truly happy? Or can they rock their worlds without one? Do they thrive on their own? Or are they missing something by choosing independence? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Share your thoughts and experiences. And if you want to dive deeper into what it means to be a Sigma female in today's world, don't forget to check out our next video. We'll be exploring how to thrive in a world full of chaos while staying true to yourself, your purpose, and your passions. Sigma females are not just surviving, they're absolutely thriving. So keep crushing it, ladies. The world is yours to conquer.